Take a Seat Gaming is one of the oldest gaming communities in the scene. We don't have a big ego about it. We're just better than you. You're now listening to the Take a Seat Tidbits podcast, featuring different hosts and leaders every episode.
All right, hello everybody. I'm Hyland Muse. I am the host of this episode of the Take a Seat Tidbits podcast. We are coming to you from elusive Sanctum. This is the second PC division of TSB, and we are celebrating our very first birthday. We've been around for a whole year, and I've got some awesome guests that are gonna share with you guys about how we have been doing. So go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us anything you want us to know.
Hi, I'm TSB Paladin. I'm an MG here in IS. I've been in TSB for over 2 years now, and it's pretty exciting to see this division make it to a year.
So I'm TSB Raziel. I'm a BG over in IS. I've been in TSB collectively coming up to about 3 years.
Hello, I'm TSB Toxic Fury. I've been in TSB since October, so 2 months, working up to my 3 months. I'm a colonel of the squad Misfits.
Hey guys, I'm Iron Octopus. I run the Paragon squad as the colonel. I've been in IS for exactly 3 months today. Maybe Scabs.
Maybe Scabs.
Hello, I may be TSB Scabs. I recently hit Major and I'm in TSB and IS since October, pretty much the end of it. Unfortunately, I happen to be a minion of Iron Octopus, but one day the tables will turn.
Taking over the world, one squad at a time. I love
Indeed.
it. Thanks, maybe TSB Scabs. Thank you guys for being here and taking time out of your night to do this. So, some of us have been here for just a couple of months, and some of us have been here for a while. So let's go around and just describe to me, in however many words, the way that you feel about IS.
Yeah, how I feel about when I joined IS was very welcoming community. Also a community that likes a lot of making jokes, a little bit of banter, which I do enjoy quite a lot. It keeps the fun into everything that we do. Also very diverse in games that we play and such. We change around a lot of the games, so it keeps it diverse, and it's you never get bored in IS as well. So that's what I really enjoy here.
Yeah, there's always a lot of people who are just sitting in chats playing games with each other. The cool thing to see everybody always in a Discord chat in a VC just playing games and having a good time. Kind of like what Toxic was saying, you see a lot of people who are just talking to each other, having fun, and a lot of people are around all the time. They start to build these bonds with each other that, it goes kind of past just playing games. There's making jokes. There's just having fun in ways that, extend outside of gaming. And I think it's a pretty cool thing to be a part of.
I've actually had a PC for about a year now, and one of the things that I sort of struggled with was finding people to play with. But I have to say, ever since joining TSB, it's just been amazing. I've almost filled 3 hard drives worth of games. So many people on my friends list, so many different people to play with every day. One of the things that I sort of thought at the start when I first joined was that it was sort of like an LFG, but it's so much more than that. It's really not an LFG. It's probably the worst way to describe it. As a community, it's all about finding friends, and I definitely have utilized that in my time here.
Yeah, I relate so much to that. I joined TSB 2 years ago, so we weren't really coming out of the pandemic yet in America, but it was at a time where I was doing all of my work at home online, and as a band director, that's really difficult to get kids to sit in front of you on a camera and pick up their instruments and make noise. And it was really just a tough time. I felt really super alone, and I started playing a lot of video games in that time, being on my PC a lot, and somebody recruited me into Virtual Carnage, and they were like, "Oh, if you want to find more people to play games with, like you can join this gaming community." And so I did, and instantly it was just like you have a bunch of friends. There's always somebody, like Paladin said, there's always somebody hanging out in Gen Chat or in a game chat somewhere that you can pop in and sit and hang out. And so I can get on that level. I totally agree.
Yeah, and just to extend on that, like the quality of the people, it's really high. It's really good.
I mean, I'm only 5'2", but thanks.
I'm not going there.
How would I describe the vibe within IS? Overall, it's a pretty good vibe. Like every division, we have like our ups, we have our downs. But at the end of the day, the general vibe of how we care about the community, as well as the members within the actual division itself, is really good. And at the end of the day, watching the vibe that we've kind of started continues to go with people spending time with each other is really good, and I hope to actually see it more in the future.
All right, maybe Scabs. How's IS been for you?
So since the moment I've joined, it all began with quite an unfortunate recruitment from our fellow buddy Iron. I've I could say that I'm a quite the introvert, and when I joined, I tried to get out of this show. I literally didn't know anyone here, and everyone was so nice from the beginning. So this kind of helped me to get out of my shell, to meet new people, play games with them. And to be honest, I'm really glad I happened to be recruited in TSB. I could proudly say that I find TSB as kind of my gaming family. I met so much nice people here with similar understandings as mine. And to be honest, I'm genuinely happy I'm here. And I want to see this community grow. And I will do literally everything I can to make this happen.
I love to hear it. So, Raz, like you mentioned, you've been in TSB quite a long time, old man.
I certainly have.
And you came over here in April of last year. So how has IS changed since then?
It's changed a lot because IS went through a stage of we went through a rough patch. There's no way of no other way of sugarcoating it. But it happens, and obviously how we've managed to turn this division around massively is astonishing, because we went to a week where we were struggling with recruits. We'd be lucky if we pulled in like 5 recruits in a week to pulling in on average probably about 20, if not more, a week. So the general consensus is really, for me, is like it's a complete turnaround where people are chatting now, playing games with each other. Whether before you had to fight with people to get them in voice chats, to get them to play games, to sort of get that member engagement as you're with the members. Now it's not so much of a struggle. Now they kind of do it winningly. So IS has developed in like such a way that even now it's sometimes it's very hard to believe that just in a short period of time this has happened, which is really good. And hopefully in the future we can continue to grow and just become even bigger.
For sure. That's what it's about. I think the longer I'm in TSB, the more true it is that this is really a community of gamers. We all live lives and have jobs or go to school or are with family every day, but every day we always find ways to spend time together, and that's what makes this place, different. And we've seen a lot of growth. We started out, you talked about that rough patch. It's really been coming back up. I mean, to where we were when we left Virtual Carnage. We brought 4 squads over, and here we are with 4 completely different ones, in my opinion. But I feel like they're so much more stable and cohesive. And Iron, you are the colonel of one of those squads that just split. So what was that like going through your squad split? Talk about that for a bit.
So the squad split, that was something different. It's something that I'd never really done, something that I'd never really experienced. And going through it was it was quite an adventure actually. I learned a lot. We had really good support metrics, a really good support team. Basically, building the squad now is a totally new experience as opposed to supporting a build. It's very in depth. It takes a bit of work, but it's the people that make it good. It's the people that make it rewarding and that make me want to do it. Techie can't be here, but he was a really big driving factor into helping us split that squad initially, into helping me start my own.
So, Scabs, you are the major of Iron Squad. What was it like on your end going through a squad split versus now, essentially helping Iron run you guys' squad?
To be honest, I've never expected to get to this position. So in the beginning, I've never really wanted to rank up. And one day I was like, why not after all? Let's do it for the memes. So as I set a goal to take over Iron, to surpass him, which obviously won't be an easy task. I'm not really sure how this is going to happen. So now, after the split, before that I was pretty much a supporting pillar, let's say it that way, to just grow the squad, grow the community itself. And now, since I'm a leader, to be honest, I'm really excited about this. It feels nice to try and reach out to other people to help them out, and of course to help the one above me to run the squad as much as I can. And I think that this is not something that, how do I say it? I think that this also helps me to build some leadership experience, even out of TSB, out of Discord, and out of the gaming community, since I've never done something like this before. And I'm learning quite a lot of things from doing that.
Yeah, there's some real world repercussions in the way that it's sort of run and what we're learning and stuff. It's very relative. I totally agree with you, Scabs.
I think it's so
And
much
it's good.
easier to come out of your shell in a space, like we have here in IS.
Yes, indeed. And as a major, I now have more responsibilities, and it feels really nice when everything comes up together, and I see the results, for example, from what I do. And if I manage to help people, let's just say, do their weekly goals, the feeling is nice.
Yeah, it's often been said that one of the most rewarding things, especially about running your own squad and all that kind of stuff, is watching people rank up underneath you, like helping people to actually do something and to improve themselves. It's incredibly rewarding. it's one of the reasons that I've gone so far. I do enjoy it. I like helping people, and to watch them grow is the best feeling.
IS Division of the Year. I'm about it. We have come such a long way, and I feel like all of you guys here play such a vital part in what is coming, this year. I am playing the role of podcast host this evening, but I am a BG in IS as well. And I am the BG over Misfits, and super, super proud and happy to be able to promote Toxic to Colonel this month. So, the name of your squad, Misfits, I love it. We had you throw a few ideas at us, and we landed on Misfits. Tell us how you came up with the name. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, the name Misfits is like, yeah, I got it from like a RuneScape clan I have been part of in the past, and it kind of also like just reminded me like, yeah, I basically like in real life I do feel a little bit like as a misfit, because yeah, here in Belgium being a gamer is not really like accepted as much. So I never really felt like I belonged somewhere. I kind of like with talking with people from my squad also, like they basically told a little bit the same story. So I was like, yeah, it kind of fits for the squad we have, and people also like agreed quite hard with that name. So it was like just a name I felt I had to go for. It's like it's a lot of people can see themselves with that name just in general in real life as well. And it's not like you actually are a misfit. It's just like, yeah, you can be a little bit more different than you normally would, and people feel very comfortable with it. So that's why I actually chose that name as a number one in my prefer list for the squads. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, I will say in all the squad name changes and new squad names that we've done, I want to say we've had the most feedback positively as well about that name. We just brought a rejoin back today, and immediately he was like, "Oh, I love this name. This is great. It's so fitting, and in a good way, like you said."
Yeah, it's nice to hear that even like people who come back, like yeah, a rejoin that just went in back again, that he actually really likes the name. And I mean, I was also trying to think a little bit out of the box of staying away of the typical god names and such. Yeah.
It's very fitting, and I'm super excited to see Misfits continue to grow. So we're really all about growth this year, and Paladin, you have a unique experience, one that a lot of us don't have. Not just being in TSB for a while, but being in both a console division and Virtual Carnage, the PC division, and this one. So, what are some things, some of the things that are different in those two divisions, and how has that knowledge, your learned and lived experience in those divisions, helped you to get to where you are as MG?
It's a completely different vibe between PC and Xbox. The biggest difference that you'll see is on Xbox. There's hundreds of people playing games like in both divisions, but it's a lot more separated because everybody's kind of in their own Xbox parties. They're doing their own thing, playing their own games, and sure you can jump between them, but it's a different vibe from kind of what goes on here in PC. We do everything on Discord. So you see a lot more people talking in Discord chats, whether it be a squad chat, general chat, or the hundreds of fun channels that we have. And then you also see a lot more people hanging out in something like a general VC, where it goes from those 10 different parties that the entire division may be in, or 50, to kind of one, two, three different chats where most of the division is all populated. And it's not separated like squads a lot of times like you see on Xbox. It's kind of everybody's together playing games and having fun. And I think that's one thing that has kind of helped us grow. And that's one thing that kind of, hits on that vibe that we were talking about in the beginning. Another thing is on Xbox, you see a lot more people being a little bit younger, or you see a lot more people from America or the same few places around the world. But a cool thing that we got here going on in IS is there's a lot of people from all over the world. I know we have everybody on every continent. I know in this chat, there's more people from Europe or around the world than there are in America. It's a pretty cool thing to see that kind of diversity in people and the different walks of life that kind of come together in this community. And what's kind of helped me in that is you can also see the different styles of leadership, the different ways that people train, the goals that are expected of you. I went from DS to VC, and then from here after we split, and the goals, the requirements, what's asked of you, it's all different everywhere. And I think the vibe we have here is it's a nice balance between a system of you know more focused on goals and more focused on pushing activity to one that's a little bit more focused on the members. And I think that's one thing that kind of helped us get out of the rough patch, like we were talking about, is we just kind of focused on the members. We just played a little bit more games and didn't focus as much about goals or those kind of requirements. And that kind of led us to grow at an exponential rate and have the people that join here actually enjoy it and want to become a part of kind of what we're doing here. And seeing all the different divisions, all the different leaders, and being under so many great people in TSB has just kind of helped me to get to where I'm at today. So it's a pretty cool experience.
Absolutely living for that experience and could
It's
not
not-
be. Leave me alone. Let me.
It's not just obviously going on what Paladin just said. It's not just that. There is a massive difference between a console division and a PC division. Like the intensity is completely different. Like he said, like the vibe is different. Like he said about spending time in like everyone has their own individual like Xbox parties that they all chill in. Here over on obviously the PC, we can kind of literally jump from voice chat to voice chat so seamlessly and spend time with members rather than jump into a voice chat and there'd be like 5 or 6 people in a voice chat on Xbox and they're all talking about their own same thing, where you can just jump into a Discord call and it's like everyone just jumped in at the same time. Everyone's like, hello, I want to play a game. So it's so simple like that. It makes a massive difference when it comes to obviously helping us focus on the members and that sort of like engagement.
Agreed.
Agreed.
It's much easier to build because, I mean, all you really have to do is play games. And how fun is that?
And also just the
Yeah.
feeling that all the squads are also like, yeah, we are like still separate squads, but it doesn't feel like we are separate squads. It's like just one big division working together, playing together. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no division in the squads, no separation. Like in a gen chat at any time, you'll find people from all different squads, all vibing, jamming, even playing their own games, but still talking, having a laugh, having a bit of fun. The Aussies are taking over.
You guys really are. You are.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
that's
was
my
like
plan. What you guys didn't
like-
know is when I first joined, it was going to be an Australian server from the start.
it was like
I'm even going to
when
convert you all.
Yeah, not happening ever.
It's time to bring Demius in IS.
It was like when I went from DS originally to obviously VC, like the whole sort of difference between that was at the time it was mind blowing. It took me a while to get used to it. Like it's a completely different atmosphere. But that's just the difference between console and PC. Like some consoles got stuff that makes it easier for them to recruit, and then we've got other stuff that benefits everybody on the PC.
Plus, PC is master race. I mean, we can all agree there.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm not getting into a
There's no
console.
denial.
I'm not getting into a console war debate.
That's because there is no console war debate.
Yeah, go ahead and start that argument debating global. I'll see you in about 20 minutes when you've been muted for about 6 hours.
Abuse of power?
Oh, no, I've been muted in global for starting said conversation before.
I'm not surprised.
I got drunk one night. I was like, right, I'm bored. Right, let's start some shit.
Maybe
Yeah,
that was the
it's
actual reason of being muted, though.
Oh, because I started the console war conversation, and I wouldn't stop. I was heavily toxicated, so it was worth it.
that's another thing. Like, it's not just about the games. I don't know if we can bring this up or not, but like, there'll be nights where I'll have a couple of drinks and a couple of people will join me, and we'll just have some vibe tunes and gen chat, and have some laughs. No one gets silly. Like, it's just a good vibe all around. And like, there's not many places that you could really do that online. I don't know, but like, it's just things like that. Like, you don't always have to be playing games. It's just a cool vibe.
No, exactly. We found ways just recently over the last few months to really connect and not just be, in a game playing a game. Not that we aren't spending hours and hours and hours in Ark or New World or whatever the next RPG is, but things like doing a bit of karaoke and doing a Jackbox game or something that's a little bit outside of the box. That really kind of connects us and creates that community.
Yeah. So speaking of that, I'm actually planning on doing sort of introducing to IS weekly div events, which would be hosted by different squads on a rotating basis, allowing each squad to sort of do their own thing for the event. And the idea was, so we do host game nights, and everyone does play a lot of games. The idea was to sort of bring it out of that shell. Like, everyone loves playing games, but what if we could do some more communal events? For example, like a trivia night or a bit of geoguessing or something. Not particularly a game, something that everyone could join in. And that's something I'm working on at the moment to sort of bring forward to the division and rotating it through the squads. It sort of gives everyone the chance to be active with it, to make it their own each week. And I'm really interested to see what other squads do, and basically how it goes to sort of bring everyone out of their shells, trying something new, not just playing games together, but having a bit more fun in something alternative. I hope
I
everyone's excited for it.
I love
I
that.
am.
I definitely
Like,
am excited.
Yeah, for me, it was like I really like the idea because, yeah, you make it possible for everyone that maybe doesn't own certain games to still join in that specific event, because it's like often like certain people don't join in because, yeah, they just say like, I don't have the game. And this is actually like taking away that reason already. And you can also work about certain things like team building with the whole division. It's a nice concept to work around, in my opinion.
Yeah, and team building within squads, like having your colonels and majors and captains sort of work on their weekly div night to make something exciting and cool, and then having everyone sort of show up and enjoy it. I think it's going to be a really good booster.
You're rolling this out next week?
Yeah, I plan to. Yeah, to be honest, I've been a little bit lazy this week, but I should have something by next week. Yes, and then we'll have the first one hopefully next Thursday night in standard TSB time, of course.
Of course, which is the past for you.
Oh, I really do struggle. It's not the time zone; it's the day ahead. The fact that I'm a day ahead. That's what I struggle with.
Yeah, I've noticed you're not the only one having those struggles, Iron. Like Shadow, for example, in my squad also has that struggles. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
Might
knowing
help.
he's a day ahead.
Might help if Shadow actually goes to fucking sleep.
Yeah, that could be another thing too, like, a weekly div event where everyone just sleeps because we know that we all need it.
Interesting.
We'll
Yeah,
put some lullabies on. That's
IS
a
nap
great
time.
idea.
Nap time in the
Yes.
music room.
No,
And like
we
we
don't
can
need.
we can force people that actually really need to go. Like Toxic. We can make him go.
Good luck with that.
Try me.
But yeah, weekly div events. Oh, and another thing too, sorry. Just to add to it. So another thing that I was sort of considering doing was sort of to bring everyone together. Not that everyone's not together, but to create that sort of uniformity. Was looking at doing a Spotify playlist where everyone would be able to include one song or maybe two songs, preferably one of their favorites. And because of the feature in Discord where you can basically listen to Spotify and people can listen along, I think it'd be a good idea to sort of have that there so that everyone can sort of jump in and you've got a chat with 10 people and they're all listening to the same music that we've basically put together, that we've created for everyone. Just a couple of ideas that I've had lately to sort of bring that community up, get everyone vibing.
Yeah, it'll
so
be
I'm excited for
interesting.
that one too.
It'll be interesting to see all the different songs that people select, because everybody has a vastly different taste here.
If I get access to that playlist, I'm putting Ram Ranch in there.
That's fine. You get one song. You make it your best. But that's the idea. I mean, the idea was to only give people one song because we didn't want a 200-hour long playlist. But yeah, who knows? We might open it up a little bit more, have it be editable, and people can sort of mix and match with their favorite songs. And I think it'd just be cool. Just be cool to sort of sit and listen with other people. It's something that we've made together.
I love
And
that idea.
I think it's also indeed like a good idea that people can change their favorite song, because people's songs that's their favorite one changes over time. So that's a good idea as well.
Yeah, it'd keep the playlist fresh as well.
Yep.
Always changing and stuff. Yeah. And I'm sure people will find songs that they like, and then there's another topic of discussion to sort of be created between that. You sort of showed me this song, I really like it, etc. Yeah, these are just some of the cool ideas that we're coming up with in IS.
Yeah, some of the other cool stuff that's been going on here, which I haven't really seen in some of the other divisions, is a lot of things are being accommodated. A lot of people's interests, stuff like D&D. I know we have a large group of people here that enjoy playing D&D. Some of them in this chat, and there's a lot of opportunities here for people to kind of play the games that they want to play. People are kind of given a platform to play those games, post streams, and be able to share with the rest of the division things that they enjoy, such as that, which is pretty cool and something you don't see very often in the other divisions. We have certain channels made for that. It's one of those cool little accommodations. We had a Magic the Gathering chat for a very long time, a whole little channel for a lot of people who likes to post, put stuff in there. It's kind of cool to see how the division changes and seeing what the people's interests are and being able to accommodate them in what we do here.
Yeah, and speaking of accommodating, it's like I never played D&D before, but I was always interested, and so someone started it up, and I actually got the opportunity to give it a go. And I mean, let's say I'm hooked now, but yeah, there wouldn't have been really an opportunity for me to try it without IS, and I think a lot of people could say the same thing.
Yeah, I have to agree. Like, I got into like certain games I've never played before. Like, D&D is one of them. Never like I knew about it, never got like the chance to actually play it, and TSB gave me the opportunity actually. Like, play D&D. I do really enjoy it. It gives me like a big, fun time actually. Like just the role playing in it, and it's something you don't see oftenly like in communities. And also like just in general, like games you never played before, didn't really enjoy playing because you play them by yourself, and then you actually find people that also play that game. It makes it more fun to game in general.
Yeah, even going back to games that I haven't played in a while, like having sort of a community and other people to play with, like it just reignites that spark that I had. Like we're playing a lot of New World at the moment, and I'm loving it because we've got like 20 people playing it. It's just cool.
Yeah, there's thousands of different games that you see people play here. It's one of those cool things about being on PC, just a vast
Yeah.
selection of different things, and it's cool to see everybody have games that they enjoy, but just have never found anyone to play with, and everybody's starting to just kind of connect here, and find people to actually play with. It's hard in a lot of these different games, and a lot of people don't know many people that play certain games like New World or D&D or stuff like many of these real-time strategy games, which there really are no looking for group posts for. So, pretty helpful.
Yeah, and a lot of people are willing to try new games. Like my desktop is disgusting at the moment, just with all the different games and icons I've got on it.
Oh,
But I like it.
Yeah, I've got to the point now where I have to actually designate just a screen for my icons for like the
Yeah.
big games, because there is a massive when it comes to obviously games. There's completely like a humongous variety of games. It's not just the ones you see all the way at the time are like the Call of Duties, the Battlefield. It's like today I downloaded one to like every single Borderlands game that's been released today, and that was like over 100 gig. That was like close to 200 gig. So there is a massive variety. Like when I was over in the console division, it was pretty much just Call of Duty, Rocket League, and R6. That was pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
But
A lot of the games that I play at the moment now, because other people have sort of been playing them and showed me, and I thought I'd try something new, and it's it's really cool. I agree with what you're saying.
definitely good that you do see that massive variety in different types of games, which is kind of nice. Nice that it's not always the same thing.
Yeah, it's nice to go back to the archives and dust that off and be like, oh yeah, we play this game, or download something that's free and try it and laugh about how horrible it is, and it's
I mean,
a good time.
I mean, free games are always nice.
We love a good
Yeah,
round of Goose Goose Duck.
That seems to be like all the rage at the minute. Goose Goose Duck.
Used to be Crab Game.
I never quite got the fascination with Crab Game, if I'm quite honest.
It's a mess.
Is this something else I need to download? I've never heard of Crab Game.
Oh my.
Have you not watched? I haven't watched it either. But have you not watched the TV show on Netflix?
No?
What's it called again?
Squid Game.
Squid
Squid
Game.
Game, yeah.
So Crab
you
Game
might-
is a massive multiplayer, and you can host a lobby and you play essentially games to the death. But they're all very cute and funny.
You're right.
I think you might have found one of your games for the div events.
Yeah, maybe. That's another one.
Yeah, I have
The,
heard about it, but never actually got into playing it because, yeah.
Yeah. There's also like the willingness of people to, say I recruit someone, like, and they're playing a very specific game. Like, I'm always willing to give it a go, and I think a lot of people could say the same. Everyone's just really chill, and always willing to try new things and help vibe and just basically get out of their comfort zone, which is what you really want in a division. And the fact that we're doing it here and we're doing it consistently, it's very rewarding.
So you've shared your your plans and your goals and your ideas for the division as a whole, and I think one of my favorite things about you, Iron, is that since you got here, you're constantly thinking about not just your squad or your members or your officers, but you're thinking about the division as a whole. And I think having people like that in this community in Elusive Sanctum is what has made it just really spring forth in the last 4 or 5 months. I mean, we've gone from just trying to get past 100 again after everything that's gone on to almost 250 now, which is really just incredible, and I'm super happy to be a part of it. So let's talk about the future. What do you guys see for your squad, for the division, for IS as a whole?
I think the general plan is to obviously keep seeing the division to kind of continue to grow, as well as not forgetting about obviously how we got here, the members. Because at the end of the day, obviously, if we didn't have the members, there wouldn't be obviously a division. Because without obviously growth within a community, nothing would improve. So hopefully, as we kind of continue to grow, we continue to make it all about the members, because that's the main reason why we're here. why we spend so much of our free time in these Discord calls, improving their knowledge about the community and just generally making sure they have a good time.
Yeah, I think overall we have a great culture here, and everybody just has an amazing time. At least I know I do, and I hope to believe that everybody else does. And I think our biggest thing will just be hoping to bring more people into this kind of family that we built here, and keep growing this division to get more people who are having a hard time finding people to become a part of what we're trying to do here, and eventually grow this division to become something that many people thought we never could be.
Yeah, for me, it's more like, yeah, all the people like that I see joining is like, yeah, I want to make sure they know it. This place, like TSB, IS specifically, is very safe place. Like a lot of people that join in have some like issues being too open up and such, and just making sure like that they know it's a safe place. They can open up at their own pace. It's like we don't push them at all to like open up, and yeah. I guess that's my main focus for next year, like, yeah, this coming year, actually.
One of the things I got told when I first made Colonel was that as a leader in this division, I have the opportunity to basically mold my squad, not only my squad, but the division as a whole. I think that's why a lot of the time I'm trying to sort of find ways to increase activity into the division, to find cool new ways to get people involved. But as it is, like it's an amazing place. So in saying that, like all I would like to see is it grow more the way it's going. I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy with everyone. It's just an awesome place to be. I spend almost 16 hours a day here, so yeah, I'd like to see it sort of continue. Keep the vibes, keep the people the same way it's going, and maybe just open up a few more things.
Well, I also really enjoy it's like, yeah, whenever I became major first, and then, yeah, at some point the colonel is like, even with the communication between other colonels and majors, it's great, amazing, because, yeah, we together get to some ideas that we would like to introduce, and that's what actually I get the things rolling and stuff, and it's really fun to do so because you get more people involved in the ideas and you can actually work together as a whole division instead of like just one squad bringing that idea without informating like however anybody else is thinking before you even bring it up to the BGs or what anything. Good example is Iron for that I have to bring up for that.
What did I do now?
But yeah, like the whole division events that we want to do, like you had that idea, you brought it up to me, we had like a whole conversation about it, and yeah, we started to have some crazy ideas and we kept rolling at some point, and then like even just like whenever there is like maybe something that's bothering between certain things, like we just reach out to each other, we talk about it, how can we solve this? That's
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah, and it's good having that support network where, yeah, even if I'm having trouble or I have questions and stuff, everyone's there for me, just like I'm there for everyone else. It's really good.
Yep.
It's the best way to be. You
Yeah,
can't build it by yourself.
we are really helpful to each other, like just everyone that is like even like just members, like they sometimes they come up with great ideas that I really like working with, like yeah.
Yeah, and it hurts me to say, but even the div staff is helpful.
Definitely.
I don't like complimenting them too much, but
Yeah, you wouldn't want that. You'll grow their egos.
Yeah, I don't like those guys,
Especially that old lady.
speaking of the old lady, what are your kind of ideas and visions for this division going into the new year?
Going into this year, I think I'd really love to see the consistency of what everybody's doing now. And gaming communities have a lot of turnover. And like we talked about all the games that fluctuate. We go from this game to this game, and some of them are free and some of them are paid. And I'd really love to see us as a group of leaders continue to grow this community and continue to move up. I'd love for us to have, by the end of 2023, I'd love for us to have a full chain of command and div staff. I know we hate those guys, but I'd love to really see what Elusive Sanctum can do, at 100%. Because I'm already super impressed with how far we've gotten in the last 6 months. I'm really looking forward to where 2023 is going to take us.
Also, let the record show, we don't hate the div staff guys. We just don't want to grow their egos any more than they already are. They're engorged. I think we keep it there.
Thank you.
That was the most descriptive way to describe our egos, and can confirm.
What do you mean our egos? We were talking about
Same-
yours.
You don't like the word engorged? Is it like
I think
an
it's a
alternate
great
version
word.
of moist?
It's a
No.
Everyone just got shivers in the chat. They were like, "Oh no, not moist."
yeah, absolutely we did.
No, I'd love to see the division grow more, but on the same lines that we're already creating it. We are creating something really cool. We've had a couple of hiccups, but we're getting back on track, and the track that we're on is heading down a good path, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think we've got a really good foundation here in IS, and I'm really excited to see where it goes from here and see how we can kind of build it up going through the year.
Yeah, really good kernels and really good majors, let's be honest. Okay, BGs. I can't help myself, I'm sorry.
No, you're not. Not even close to being sorry.
Yeah, I just say it to make you appeased.
We all had to vote on you,
I do. I assume it was unanimous. Why wouldn't it be? I'm awesome.
Well, that's it. The next vote comes up
But
with
you see-
mine. It's
Do you
getting a
see how
fucking
I'll fit
X.
into being a BG? No worries. My ego, it's engorged as.
It's very
I'm
hard
already
to
there.
convince Terracode to let it happen, Iron. Very hard.
I've got the workshop ready to go. So that's one other thing like I'd really like to see is me taking over Paladin's job via a quick workshop. It's there. We just need to set a date. I've got a slideshow presentation, a small orchestra coming in as well.
Now, do you plan to recruit deceased?
Yeah, that was one thing I've been talking about with Terracode and a lot of the upper leaders is maybe stepping away from clan ops itself and kind of focusing on our recruitment efforts, to people that transcend life. There's a lot of people 6 feet under that I think could really help this community. And it really is an untapped market. No other gaming community is going out there, getting their hands dirty, recruiting the dead people. It's something that I think our numbers could just balloon in every division. I think it could really help TSB as a whole. And, to have that opportunity to be able to go out there and, try to get these people to join our community and get them to buy into what we're doing, it really is. It's a big deal to me.
I mean, that's an untapped resource. So
It is.
maybe dead people's the way forward.
We have their name. We have their age.
So I was lost there for a second. Like I thought it was a. I don't know what the word is.
I think it's a great idea. I mean,
I'm all for it. Do it.
like even if we would pass away, there is still a place for us to go at some point. I mean,
Cuddly's always welcome here in this division whenever she does pass, which is soon. And whenever she's ready to finally give up and move on, we got a spot for her here.
To be honest, I think Cuddly's going to be a bit like the Emperor from 40k, just become immortal.
No 40k memes. You know the rule.
There isn't a rule.
There is. I put
No,
it in
no,
2 days ago.
yeah, denied.
Yeah, it will get denied definitely.
100% denied. There will always be 40k memes.
Paladin, I need your job for just 1 day. There's one quick thing I got to do. You can have it back.
Demotes me.
Well, gang.
Wakey, wakey, eggs and bacon, motherfucker. Yee yee.
Yee yee. Jesus.
It's the British cowboy thing, don't worry.
British cowboy.
British cowboy.
They can't say yeehaw, so they say yee yee.